I have to start the Zoom, or is it going to start?
Well, welcome everybody. I'm David Gross with Condi Systems. We're delighted that you've joined us and hope that you'll find our time together today to be quite educational and interesting. Today's guest is a good friend of mine, Cheryl Kuchek. Cheryl and I have known us for many years. Bo, you want to go to the side-by-side? Well, hey, Cheryl.
Hey, David.
So,
good to be with you.
We're having trouble hearing you a little bit.
Oh, you're kidding. Okay, well, let's see if I can make...
Okay, we'll give you a few moments while we talk about it. So today Cheryl is in a different part of her facility than we normally see it. Is your audio better?
I think so. I think so. You tell me.
It's a little bit low, so I'm not hearing you. So check maybe you're on your Zoom. See if that's the chosen audio source.
Yeah,
At any rate, today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about value. Value is, of course, the name of the game in sublimation, because when we decorate products and sell them, we'd like to maximize our profit. And to do that, we talk about the three things, the three elements of value. Of course, number one is the artwork. And for years, we've talked about artwork strategies on how to maximize your value, from personalization to putting the date on there, making sure your products all have referral information, but all the things that make the artwork valuable. Number two is the substrate, the value of the substrate. Some substrates are simply worth more than others. We've got beautiful stainless steel tumblers and all sorts of products today that really have a lot of, we'll call it intrinsic value, and you marry that with great artwork and you've got a really valuable product. And then the third element to value is our sales and marketing strategy. Do you sell your products as if you're at a flea market, or do you sell it as if you're at an upscale boutique? And again, that's one of the strategies I think that's probably the hardest to deal with, because many sublimators out there, certainly beginner ones, tend to underprice their products. Underpricing your products is going to cheapen them. It's certainly going to run off people, and you need to charge for the value that you're putting into. Today is a little bit unique. We're going to talk about how to increase the value of your substrates. Normally you can't. It is what it is. But now, so many people have desktop lasers or floor standing lasers. They're able to start making their own custom substrates. And today Cheryl's going to talk about how you can take the Unisub hardboard and turn it into essentially works of art. And this, to Cheryl's credit, she's sort of like the Renaissance lady. She knows her sublimation, of course, and that's what we normally talk about. But she's also a pro when it comes to lasers. Well, welcome, Cheryl. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you. Can you hear me better now?
No, sorry.
Oh, this is unfortunate. So maybe I will just hold this. How about that? Is that better? No, it's not better.
Well, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see if it's.
I'll just talk loud. Is that better? Can you hear me?
I think Zoom has a different microphone source. If George
Yeah.
could check your Zoom microphone source.
Yeah, let me look. Let me look because I think you're right, David.
So I'll talk just a little bit more because I guess that's something I do for a living. Haven't taught too many classes recently as far as in person. We've done, of course, a large number of virtual calls, have a lot of fun at that. One of the resources that I think would be valuable for many sublimators is a new book out. It's 125 Ways to Make Money with Sublimation. I wrote the foreword to the book. It's an excellent, we'll call it reference guide to allowing you to see opportunities that may be right around you, next door, down the street, and see many markets that you can take advantage of. Because what sublimation really is, I think, is you can always have whatever you think your business is, but then you can operate many streams of income. Some of my favorite, of course, are selling into the pet grooming community, fundraising, and of course my all-time favorite is name badges. And so I recommend that you pursue all three of those because they're excellent businesses, and it goes back to the old saying of Jesse James. When Jesse James was interviewed by a young reporter, the young lady interviewing Jesse James wanted to reach into his psyche to try to understand who this Jesse James was, the notorious bank robber of the Old West. And so one of her questions was a very simple question. She wanted to know why he robs banks. And so he looked at her in total disbelief, of course, and then instantly replied, because that's where the money's at. And to an extent, that's exactly what it is with sublimation. We do want to go find the areas where the money's at so that you can sell into those markets. Cheryl, how's the
Okay, I'm not, can you hear me any better?
About the same. So if you go to your, on your Zoom, go to your audio sources.
Yep.
Bo is saying he thinks it's okay. So let's get started.
Okay, because I mean, it's showing that, you know, we got a lot of volume.
Okay, you go for it.
Okay, so I'm just going to hold the mic just in case, but it seems like it's.
So what's this ginormous thing you've got behind you?
Actually, it is my baby. It's a Speedy 360. It's beautiful. It's a Trotec, and I've had it for probably 3 years now. I started with a Speedy 100, and that lasted for a couple of months, and I called him and I said, please, I need a bigger bed. And so I got the Speedy 300, and then after the Speedy 300, I decided to go ahead and get a Speedy 360, and so here she is. She's a beauty. I'm going to turn it on, but I want to talk about some best practices because, you know, people want to get into lasers, but lasers can actually be pretty dangerous if you're not careful. You know, definitely you have to be concerned about fires. So there are just things that I think that we need to know and do. And one of the things that I did almost immediately was I bought a fire blanket. And one of the things that happened was that I ended up getting I had a little tiny fire, the only fire that I ever had. I think it was acrylic that I had it. And if you have air assist and you're not going to want to open that up without shutting it off. So Bo, can you, I just, instead of me holding this, I'm going to see if I can put it down to speak. Is the volume okay? If not, I'm just going to talk loud. Can I get a thumbs up, Bo, or somebody, David? Can you just let me know if you guys can hear me? maybe I can check over here and see. Okay, it's not too great. It's not too great. Okay, so I'm just
Cheryl, you're a
gonna,
little quieter, but we can still hear you.
okay, so it's not too horrible. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to talk loud, but I have no way of really getting this hooked up like that. Okay, so my husband's telling me to put it on my necklace. Let's see if that will work. Okay, I don't think that's any better, but okay, so here's a fire blanket, and you literally would put it, you would turn off your Trotec or your laser, and you would literally then put the blanket on. The other thing that they recommend, of course, is a fire extinguisher. There are 5 different fire extinguishers. You want the C for CO2, and I believe that's a C. They have A, B, C, D, and one's water, foam, dry powder, CO2, wet chemical. You definitely want the CO2. And the reason is because if you were to get, say, and this is, by the way, the more expensive one, the one, like the chemical one, that's probably the least expensive one, but it will destroy your laser. So you wouldn't want to do that. So anyway, I want to turn it on. And this means that I'm going to have to talk even louder, but this is going to kind of reset itself. And actually, if I could get George to put this now on the huddle cam, so I can show you. Okay, that's okay, there we go. Okay, so that's the bed, and I have the Unisub hardboard in there right now, and so I'm going to show you what I do. You're actually probably, I'm going to have to turn, move this up, so you can see my board here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. I'm going to, these buttons, let's see if I can put out a little more so you can see it. And I hope that you can. This is going to move the head of the laser. And so what I want to do, I'm going to push these 2 buttons. It's going to bring up the bed of the laser. And it's going to auto align it for me, so I don't have to then do anything else. It's going to be set for me, and you'll see how it works. It's so cool. Okay, so it aligns that nicely. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about this. So with your laser, the most important thing that you need to do, besides keeping your bed clean, so that's part of why people get fires, is because they leave the scraps in the bottom. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that everything is lined up. Let me go back to the main camera. Let me just go back here. Okay, let's. Okay. So just so I can talk a little bit more about this. Okay, so cleaning the head, I mean the lens, is super important, and you're going to want to do that to maintain your lens. So I'm going to take out my lens really quick just to show you. I mean, this is super important, and they recommend that you do this every single time. So you're going to want to keep this clean. I mean, this is really key to having good cuts and clean cuts. So I'm going to put that back in, and maybe I should have left the puddle can on. The next thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is keep your mirror clean. So that's actually, why don't you put that back on the puddle can so I can show them. Okay, so again, I'm going to take out the lens just to show you. It's super easy on the Trotec. So, and you would clean that. They give you a kit. And in this kit, you have your cleaning material. So, and you're going to want to keep this clean. And you're also going to do the same thing with your mirror. And again, super easy to take care of. You're going to unscrew these two, clean the mirror, and that's it. It's that simple to do. Now, this again, I'm gonna take my laser down, and then I'm gonna let it automatically come back up so you can see how it works. So it's going to position it perfectly so that I don't have to worry about it, the height of it, because a lot of them you have to actually measure. Okay, so the other thing that happens with the laser, you learn, okay, you learn the noises of them. So one of the things that I did was I bought a baby monitor so that I could make sure that if I'm designing, if I'm doing something different, I want to make sure that I can see what's happening, make sure that there's no fire. Now, it's not a babysitter, it's a baby monitor. So you need to tune into your Trotec. I would never tell you to be too far away, but it's so nice to, if you're sitting at your desk, you can be designing while you're watching to make sure that there's no flare-ups. But you will also learn the noise. You learn that what is a normal sound of your laser and what is a problem with your laser. So, and I also want to share some practical tips with you too on when you are doing substrates. So this is key for me. I have my little handy little dust buster, and I use that to suck up all the little stuff that's in there. This is water and white vinegar. I leave my substrates inside the Trotec, and when I'm done, I wipe it all down, get all the soot off first before I remove it. It saves hundreds of hours, trust me. So let me take this back here. I'll show you some of the things that I've done. I'm sure you guys have seen lots of them, but I did a sublimation prime and temp. So I did this. It's just to keep it handy. Then I have spaces to write on. We're gonna do this today. This is Grandpa, best Grandpa. This is unfortunately the S got messed up, but this is a Merry Christmas. I mean, there's so much that you can do with the laser. It is worth everything, especially if you are a serious seller. You will want to have a Trotec would be wonderful, but a laser. So I'm going to show you how we do this.
So Cheryl, to be clear with people, what we're talking about is cutting the Unisub hardboard, and
Yeah.
we've got sheets that are cut for the desktop lasers already, and they're both single and double-sided hardboard. I think they're a 1/4 inch thick, I think.
Okay.
And you basically just put the sheet in there. You've programmed it from your computer with the cut file, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. So I'm getting ready to send it to, I'm going to send it to, this is called, for the Trotec, it's called job control. And so I'm going to send it to my Trotec. You design it, or I don't really design in Corel, but I design in Adobe Illustrator, and then I send it over to Corel, and then I send it over to my Trotec. Most people don't have to do that if they design in Corel. I just don't design in Corel. I don't really know Corel that well, and I'm a Mac user, not a Windows user, so that's the reason why I use it. But I'm going to get on my computer, and I'm going to do that now. And I hate to turn my back on everybody, so let's see if I can get the camera.
You sound better. So maybe it's being close to the receiver is the issue. So I take it that you could cut something out, but you can also do a step and repeat so that you cut a bunch of the same item out. Is that correct?
Yep, exactly. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is connect my laser to the computer. So it's going to do that now.
And I suppose that's just USB?
Yes. And then I also have what they call the Atmos, which is, the suction to get rid of all the smell and the debris and all that stuff. So I already have it on my, I don't know if you can see this or not, probably not, but I'm going to do 3 of these.
Okay. Now, when you put the hardboard in your press, in the laser, do you remove the peel coat?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I don't. And I think let me see what my issues are here. Okay, so I'm good. Okay, so this is going to take, my mouse will work here. Okay, so this is, I've got 3 of them, and it says that, whoops, it's going to take 2 minutes and 37 seconds. But actually, I have it on the wrong. So the awesome thing to me that is so cool is that once you program in what type of material it is, you can always have it in there and use it. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Okay.
So that determines the power of the laser and the cutting speed?
Yes. Yep. Okay. So this is, yes, depends on, okay. So let's do it. Let's cut this out, but I want to make sure that these are all 3 selected.
So I take it when we cut hardboard, we do blacken the edge, but that's not an issue, right?
No, and I'm gonna try to put on the huddle cam here in just a second, so you guys can see it cutting. And I'm gonna explain if it's not cutting. It's important to know if it starts burning it, or it starts browning it really badly, or firing. There's a little bit of fire there. you need to back off. You need to back off your, either bring down the head, not bring it down, actually lower the bed, or you need to up the bed. So it just depends. And I'll show you here in just a second, but this should be lined up pretty good. So let's do this. Let's, if we can go back to the bed. Okay, I'm gonna do all the. Okay. All right. I can already tell this is not right. I can already tell something's definitely wrong. So let me find out what that is. I'm glad that this happened. So I don't know if you could see that it was flaming up. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so that is definitely, like, that should not happen. So I'm not sure, I've got to find out why that took place. That should not be. So let me make sure that I know. Oh. I don't know if you just found that, but
that's why you have an unfocused laser. So I guess there's no on this particular Trotec, there's no safety indication that the lens is removed.
Okay, so I have to tell you, it's the reason I love Trotec so much, because if something like that happens, you know immediately something is wrong. So I don't know if you saw, but I did not, the way that the Trotec cap is with the lens, I didn't have it screwed in all the way. So that's why it was causing a problem.
Okay. Well, you gave the folks at home a very exciting light show.
Okay, so I like it. Okay, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to redo. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to do it again. But it's great because, again, that's how you know something's grossly wrong. Okay, so let's do this again.
So you used my name in there? Is that what you did?
I just did, David. I did. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do the show. Definitely a difference. Okay, and I'm gonna I don't know if you see that, but it's so incredible. I don't know what y'all can see, but, oh, you can see it pretty good. So that's not a flare up. That's literally, it kind of looks like it's flaring up, but it's not. That's not a flare up.
So what product are you making? What is the design you're making there?
I'm doing Best Grandpa.
Ah, okay.
It's a plaque, and so I'm doing Best Grandpa. Do we have any questions while this is cutting out?
What do you think, Bo? Questions so far? Okay, no questions so far. As far as just comments while it's cutting, one of the benefits if you do have a laser is that you can, of course, make your own product, and you can change your mind every time. So it really gives you the ability to customize for the market you're selling into. And I think that's a fantastic way to differentiate yourself from everybody else. So you really have a significant advantage. I take it that you have a very nice laser. Should people also consider, if they're just getting into it, should they consider some of the less expensive, what I would call tabletop lasers?
David, you know, my only caution is, you know, that, I mean, if you're unsure, yeah, I think getting one of those would be great, but you just have to be extra careful with, you know, and really kind of do your homework as to the safety of whatever laser it is that you're getting. Okay, I see that it's kind of cutting off.
Wow, those are beautiful. So I take it, Cheryl, when you're planning your design and sending it to the laser, can you also use that same design as your sublimation template?
Yes. Yep, you sure can.
So
Yeah.
just give yourself a little bit of a bleed, I guess, but maybe you really don't even need to deal with that.
Yeah, you know, these can be complex, and because if you want different colors and stuff, but it is so, you know, the possibilities are crazy good. Crazy.
Yeah. Cheryl, we've got a couple of questions, so Bo, tell us what those questions are.
Hey, David, can you list the part numbers for the Unisub products?
Yeah, so before this meeting, we were trying to identify the part numbers I think we have, and I asked that they be put on sale for a little bit. The first is the single-sided Unisub hardboard. I think it's glossy. These are 11.875 by 20 inches, and the part number is U60377. U60377. And then the second is the double-sided version, and that's U60378. And Miss Bobby just let me know she has put those on sale. Let's see, for the first one, $5.50 a sheet, and then for the second one, it's $8.50 a sheet. And these would be on sale until Friday, June 4th.
Okay, let me just show you what I do right now. Okay, so I've got both of these done. Okay, I'm going to keep testing here. Okay, I just want to make sure that the camera is okay. And I'm going to spray this with my vinegar and water.
So you looks like you're using, we can't hear you very well again as you move away from your computer, but you're using an eraser to get rid of, I guess, cutting residue.
Yeah, so what I did was I sprayed the vinegar and water, and then I'm using a sponge to take it off, and it's so easy versus taking them out and doing them. And it makes it so easy.
Okay. So
It takes hundreds of hours. I love this. And then take a towel and wipe it down.
okay, as you can head back the other direction. But a couple of questions. First one is, does Condi sell lasers? We do not. And second one is, do you have a recommendation for a, oh wow, cool. Do you have a recommendation for a laser for people to start off with? I assume that's one of the low-end tabletop lasers.
Well, I would tell you, I would say, I mean, my personal is to contact Trotec, who has a, they do have a tabletop, and it comes with support but more importantly, they will, especially if you tell them that I sent you, because they will make sure that you have upgrade possibilities. You certainly could tell them that you saw this
Okay. So maybe we could get the Trotec information from you. I've seen at the shows the real low end lasers, which of course I'm a laser dummy. So again, it's just a matter of you get what you pay for. That's beautiful, Cheryl.
So, you take out the pieces, here's a little crown.
If you could head back to the computer where we hear you really well.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Can you grill hamburgers on that?
Okay, so if you can, I'm gonna shut this off. Not sure you can hear me better because I shut it off.
Yeah, if you'll head back to the computer, we can hear you really well at the computer.
You can change that. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay.
I can hear you great now, and waiting on an image to come up.
Yeah, not sure what happened here, but
So I just want to know, can you grill hamburgers on that?
I probably could if I no, I'm kidding. But I know this, I cut material on it, which is pretty awesome. So, that's a really neat thing. I was able to do a bunch of masks. So here's one that I did. Here is one. I'll show you this.
So yeah, you can cut polyester fabric, right?
Yep, you sure can. You can cut cotton too. I cut cotton on it. Okay, so here's one that is, this is done. I cut it out. Here is one finished.
Oh, wow.
And I used that, the,
Yep.
I'm not sure what part number, but I sure love this. It really makes, so it stands up nicely. There you have it. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
So I guess if someone is sort of contemplating this, is it very hard maybe to find somebody in their community they could partner with to maybe get a couple of things cut just to see how it goes?
David, honestly, I think what's really interesting is they have, and I don't know because of COVID if they still do, but a makers, it's called Makerspace, and you literally can rent time on a laser or on different items to create. So it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, wow, Makerspace. I have heard of that.
Yeah, so here's some more of these things that I've done. I mean, I've done tons of these, of course, so many different designs. They're really cool. They definitely.
Can you bring the edge up to the camera so we can see the edge?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So it's a nice edge.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. And so people can understand, many of the products that we sell as a finished product here, it's blank, of course, they are cut with a laser. Some of the products are not cut with a laser. They're cut with a CNC overhead router. And you can tell the difference because if it's a blackened edge, that is laser cut. If it's a natural edge, the natural color of hardboard, then it's going to be cut with a CNC machine.
And these, again, the only thing that you have to do, if you clean this off in the laser, you just have to do the sides, and you will need to do the sides. And it will, you just run it across, do a sponge. You will, this is a dirty job, I must tell you, but it's worth it. I mean, nothing's coming off of that because it's already cleaned, but I'll take this and I'll show you. And we, like when we do these, we make lots of them. And so we will, literally look at this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose you could, for instance, now that we're sort of in, we'll call it headed towards post-COVID, a lot of people are going to be going to events, and you could actually create a design just for an event. And you know, you could be sublimating it with photographs of people, you name it. So you know, you could use the kiosk, the Condi kiosk, to get the photo, or they could email or text it to you, and then you put it on something with a little bit of a custom template onto a custom hardboard piece, put a little easel on the back, and wow, you've got something that is you know, a $30 product easily, right?
Oh, easy, easy. David, there's so many things that you can do with the laser. I have cut, I mean, again, I don't know what you guys have in stock right now, but I've done color lights, which I've loved.
Yeah, the acrylic, I'm gonna take our color light acrylic. I am gonna cut it into 12 by 20 sheets, and then color light film will come back later this year. So we're
I was
excited.
actually going to do this, so and I am going to do this later after this program. But here is the what is this called, David?
It looks like color light film.
Okay, so this is the color light film.
If it's relatively transparent, it's the film. If it's white, it's Dyflex.
Okay, no, so this is the film. So I'm going to cut out a bunch of earrings. And you know, somebody was asking me about that the other day. So I'm going to cut out a bunch of earrings and just show people, because you know, these will make fabulous earrings. And in fact, David, I think you guys should cut these, make you know, sell earrings for people. They're hot items right now. So I would so recommend them. You know, the teardrops and all the different shapes that they have right now. This would be a beautiful material, very lightweight, absolutely awesome to do earrings with.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'll do some and post them so people can see them. But,
so Cheryl, if people wanted to get the design that you've just come up with, assuming they have a laser, can they just email or something and you'll send it to them?
Yes, I will. I'm happy to do that. So my email address is sublimationsummit@gmail.com, and I will be happy to send you over.
Yeah. Now that you brought up about the summit, I know it's coming up, and I'm really looking forward to it. What are the dates of the summit?
It is September 30th, October 1st and 2nd. And it is going to be, I am looking into some amazing things. That's all, you know, we're always looking to add some, you know, fun and awesome things. And I've been on the phone half the morning with a company that I'm looking to work with that is, you know, it's a possibility that will, you know, we're going to be adding more and more to the summit. You know, we want to educate people. We want to help them grow in their business. We want to take them to the next level. You know, we're there for the hobbyists as well as the entrepreneurs. And
so let me ask you, will Trotec be part of the summit?
Trotec will definitely be there. Absolutely.
Okay. So if you do make it there, it's in Peachtree City, Atlanta, near Atlanta, Georgia, and it's a great opportunity to touch and feel and see all this. But the educational content is second to none as far as the depth and breadth of the education. So I think we're slowly reaching our time where we need to see what questions we have. Let's see.
Condi will be having a discount at some point, you know, once we get tickets.
Yeah, for Condi clients, of course. Will there be a laser on display at the summit? I think so, right?
Yes.
Some people, Michelle Coley, if that's how you pronounce it, talked about Google Makerspace in the New York area. I think they just found something.
Okay.
So lots of great comments here. Okay. So again, it's one of those kinds of things that you should, if you're interested in a laser, obviously you need to take the time and the effort to learn about it to see how it would fit into your business. As far as its migration into our world, sublimation, it's been intense because, for instance, here at Condi, we're actually buying lasers. We've always had folks that did laser work for us, but we're doing it ourselves on cutting our acrylic, on cutting hardboard, of course, cutting the color light film, cutting the Dyflex film.
It's addictive, David. It's addictive. It's much like sublimation.
Yeah, yep. So want to thank everybody for being with us, and of course thank Cheryl and George. George behind the camera here, and Bo, of course, here. We hope this has been valuable. Give out your email address one more time, Cheryl.
sublimationsummit@gmail.com.
And the website for Sublimation Summit is sublimationsummit.com. I do recommend it. I will be teaching at the summit. Sprite and, of course, Doug will be teaching on the white toner printers. We're looking to get outside, and so I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Thoroughly enjoyed the virtual sessions, and been to. Have we done 2 in-person sessions, or trying to think? One.
Yeah, we've done one, and we've done virtual.
Yeah. So let's see. Can you get a list of materials that can be cut out with a laser? I think that's, for the most part, as far as in the sublimation world, it's going to be today hardboard, the color light acrylic. One product that Cheryl helped me with that we're going to be adding very quickly is our felt materials that we use for puzzles and that we use for the air fresheners. We're going to sell that in sheets. So again, a laser gives you a lot of flexibility to really add value to your sublimation products.
Don't forget the Dyflex, this
color light film.
You can cut acrylic on it, but I have to tell you, for things like earrings, this is awesome. I know that some people use that 1/16 of an inch hardboard, and I'm not even sure if they sell it anymore for the earrings, but I was listening to somebody tell me how, they can't get wet. And so with this, you don't have to worry about it. And it's super light. You don't have to worry about this. This again, I'll be posting these just so you guys can see how awesome this will make earrings. And there's just so many things that you can do with a laser. There's just absolutely, it's a game changer. When I had an opportunity to buy either a UV printer or a laser, for me, there was it was good. The UV was going to take me away from sublimation. Laser was going to add to sublimation. And that's exactly what it does. It just adds another layer of what you can do and the possibilities that you can have with sublimation.
Gotcha. Now, just a few products that you shouldn't cut in a laser. You shouldn't cut anything that a reputable authority tells you is not for laser. You can screw up your laser by putting things in it you shouldn't. There's a bunch of chemicals that come out when you cut stuff. The kinds of things that we sell that you shouldn't put in your laser, you don't put metal in there. You don't put, probably shouldn't put thick MDF in it. I would say it's probably difficult to cut. But, always ask a reputable authority, can this be fabricated using a laser?
Okay, there's another product that you guys sell. This is, and I don't remember what it's called, but you sublimate on it. It's white, and then the back is like a brass, I guess.
Yes.
And you crave it, and I mean, it really comes out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it comes out amazing.
I think that's like Laser Sub is the name of it, but we'll post it, Bo, if we can. Look it up. We'll post it on there so people will know. But
This
Cheryl,
is really awesome.
Cheryl, I want to thank you again for taking your valuable time to be with us and helping our clients grow. And we hope to have you back on in the near future. Please keep us all updated on how preparations are going with the summit. I know many people would love to know about some of the other instructors that will be there and what they can expect to learn at the summit.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. You take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.